Okay guys, so I've got a banger for you in this video. We are taking a look at the Super Welterweight contest between Canelo Alvarez and ALFREDO Angulo, both from Mexico. This fight was scheduled for the MGM Grand Garden Arena venue in Las Vegas, USA. Okay guys, thoughts and opinions at the end. Let's get straight into the action.
Here in the first round, Canelo working that uppercut, working that left hand exclusively.
They expect him to come out with some anger and urgency. Being that he's been a knockout fighter, a lot of times in his fights he has started slowly, but I expect a faster start out of him tonight.
Canelo Alvarez said that Angulo was a slower fighter. He's in there. Angulo agrees. He said, but I'm going to come and bring my power and my pressure. But this is all Canelo Alvarez here in the first minute of this fight. And Canelo Alvarez doesn't look like the fighter we saw against Floyd Mayweather, who he couldn't catch. Here, Angulo, as he said, right there in front of him, and he's landing the shots.
Yeah, this is a lot riding on this for Canelo. If he can make a real dominating performance, then it's up another level. And the train keeps on chugging along here for him.
ALFREDO Angulo lost to Evasive Lara. In a fight where he knocked out Lara twice, and Lara, the Cuban southpaw, and nobody really wanted to fight because he's a counterpuncher. Angulo looked good against him, but then a big knot over his left eye, he turned his back, and that fight was called. Angulo with a big right hand, followed by a nice jab.
Very heavy stuff here by Canelo. Good left hook to the body, jab was hard. There's purpose on all of this, and you could see the relief that fighters get when the bout sets up stylistically more in their favor. And this is a layup, style-wise, for Canelo.
This is just practices for Canelo. Angulo is not moving around. Canelo landing the jab, landing the right on the body, and he doesn't move. Angulo is going to stay there. That's what he does. That's his style. A nice right hand pushes Angulo back by Canelo. Goes to the body. Angulo gets away from the corner. Another stiff jab by Canelo Alvarez. Working the body. Alvarez going up, going down, landing at will here in the first round, Dave Montempo.
Yeah, he is pummeling a guy who's right in front of him. We're getting a lot on these shots here by Canelo. Good, hard right hand, uppercut, everything in it is turning. He's got perfect torque with the maximum strength on the shots Canelo is landing. He's doing a good job. And the guy right in front of him, he doesn't even have to cut off everything.
Doesn't have to move because his partner's not going anywhere. Good first round for Canelo Alvarez, scheduled for 12.
That's the answer he should give.
How much did that have to do with that Canelo just trying to prove a point that Mayweather fight didn't affect him? Or was he even thinking about that?
Well, there is some carryover into him, the urgency, the anger, the focus. But what also helped that is that this style, he could not have asked for anything better. And that's why for Angulo, we talked about, can he do something different? Can he move a little bit? And that's what they're saying to him. Because to go straight up and match bomb for bomb, he's going to lose.
Angulo was asked by his corner to wake up, come alive. It is Canelo Alvarez, who's even more alive here in the second round, landing the heavier shots. Angulo really not throwing much there.
And when a guy starts to overpower you, and in the first round, the punches bother you a little bit, you're now scrambling. You don't trust anything as much. You're thinking twice about any strategy that you might employ.
Angulo throwing punches with nothing behind him. As you said earlier, one of the other fights, pawing.
Yep, he's pawing because he doesn't trust it. If he puts it out there, he's going to get countered as he does here.
The crowd rising with Canelo chant. It was booze earlier. There was no barking going on. Canelo Alvarez with all the fight here in the second round. Good combo for Canelo. A nice uppercut. Canelo is having his way. Any punch he wants to throw is landing, and he's landing with force.
This is about regaining his swagger, his career swagger. And he's fighting to get that back, and he has come out here all business in the first round, even pushing Angulo off defiantly.
But this isn't what we're usually seeing with ALFREDO Angulo. His nickname's the Dog. But he's had that fight. We don't see any of it. Canelo with another uppercut, which he's landing at will.
And the impressive part about this statement thus far for Canelo is in the past, we've seen him not be as dynamic as this in the first couple of rounds, and then once he hits his stride, he's lethal. He came out in these first 2 rounds with power.
Why would you pick a fighter like Angulo to stay there and trade with you? Well, Angulo's not trading. Canelo is having his way. He wanted a fighter to mix it up with him. He got that.
He wanted a fighter right in front of him so that he didn't have to go find him. He's still trying to find Floyd Mayweather. This guy,
just everybody else.
This guy is set up to bring out the real Canelo in terms of his ferocity.
This is Canelo a lot of people expected, right? The hype. Canelo with a nice little flurry in the closing seconds of the round. Another impressive round for Saul. Canelo Alvarez as we head to the third. Canelo Alvarez is in the zone right now as we head to the third round.
Well, these are the intangible things you look for from exceptional fighters when they've had a setback and they've had a frustrating experience. They come back the next time ready to double down, put everything out there, get right to the job, and that's something, you take that loss personally once you get in the ring, and he has.
Well, what about a fighter like Lara, who lost in his last fight? He doesn't have the same urgency. Canelo has it all.
Canelo has it only at a higher stage of higher expectations than Angulo had in his last fight. He took a step backward in the Mexican community. He wants to get that back, and he's come out with the kind of anger, focus, cutting off the ring. Well, he didn't do too much of that, but the guy right in front of him, he's done all those things. And the other side, Angulo's corner saying, come on, you've got to let him know it won't be this easy.
If you're going to be a pay-per-view fighter, if you're going to be a fan favorite, you have to put on a show. And Canelo Alvarez is doing that right now, having his way with ALFREDO Angulo. Alvarez, yellow trunks. Angulo, black trunks. Alvarez, heavy hands.
Canelo, you're on a wire-to-wire performance. Come out strong, finish it, never be in danger. Angulo starting to get a little brave now.
First time
to lift things up even more.
Sorry, that's the first time Angulo actually lands the combination. We followed it in the third round. And he continues to tag him. Angulo landed right. Canelo answered. Angulo is swollen underneath his right eye. He's taking some heavy punches here in the first couple rounds. And Canelo, a big left, a big right. Moves Angulo back. Canelo Alvarez just continues to come.
He hurt him with those into the 2 body shots and right back on the head. Nails him again.
A big left from Canelo. Now Canelo working the body. Less than 30 seconds to go in the third round. Angulo taking some big shots here. He's bleeding from his nose. Saul Canelo Alvarez does not look like the fighter we saw against Floyd Mayweather. He looks strong. He looks determined right now. And the crowd is behind him. 10 seconds to go in the round. And Canelo continuing to tee off. The right eye of ALFREDO Angulo continues to swell up. And Saul Canelo Alvarez looking strong through 3 as we go to the 4th round. And we saw those in those replays, Dave, on tempo. It was all Canelo. Angulo landed a couple, but it really didn't seem to phase Canelo Alvarez.
Now, these were big shots that he got hit with, a series of big shots, and he was rocked. The body shots set up the big shots to the head. And with Canelo, he's like a train that just keeps picking up speed. So you're going to see more of these shots come in, and you're going to see the back end of combinations perhaps put Angulo down.
He's a loaded freight train.
Yes.
He's coming in. So Canelo Alvarez, wherever he went, he got those chargers ready to go. And he is full of energy, fully ready to go, and he's looking strong here. That uppercut, Dave, is continuing to land with ease.
And everything is getting in. The good right hand from outside, the jab, the hooks. He goes to the body and to the head. And the percentage of high power in all these shots is very high. He is not wasting anything.
And Angulo also heard, you're talking about leaving some of the Mexican fans. Well, as you see in the back of the trunks for ALFREDO ANGULO, Mexicali, which is right on the border of Southern California and Mexico. And because he's more of the hard-working, grinded-out kind of fighter, a lot of people were picking Angulo because they're going anti-Canelo. Where they're going, you know, he's more of a Mexican fighter because of his style. Canelo Alvarez heard that, didn't like it, and he's showing ALFREDO ANGULO how much he didn't like it by throwing up top.
He has a lot of frustration that he is pouring out in this fight, and he's showing his old hunger, his old intensity, and the style is perfect. They set it up for it to be perfect for him. They set him a perfect stage, and he is enjoying that stage and putting on a good show.
ALFREDO ANGULO finally connected the right. Canelo answers back. Was sparring with Andre Roy, who's bigger. Was sparring with Amir Khan, who's faster than Canelo. And it didn't look like it paying off because Canelo Alvarez has the perfect game plan for this fight tonight. No real punching power from Angulo. Because everything that Canelo throws, Dave, is with a lead and purpose.
And he is making a guy with 18 knockouts in 25 fights look like he's got no power. And Angulo trying to say something else about it. He's still a jab from Angulo, but he pays with some body work here.
Angulo doesn't look like a fighter who had knocked down Aries Lara twice. Doesn't look like a fighter who has those 18 knockouts. He looks like a fighter who isn't away from it. And his corner continues to yell. We're sitting by them. Come on, ALFREDO. We've heard that the entire round, Dave. Angulo not answering. Nice and relaxed. Comes out with a strong jab. Another jab. Exactly what Virgil Hunter told his fighter to do. His opponent is doing 3 straight jabs from ALFREDO ANGULO with a hook.
And then Canelo, he's showing a different look here, coming out with the jab first, a little more technical, and then doing things off of there. Remember, they do have a common opponent. Angulo lost to Kermit Cintron, and Alvarez beat him. He's a guy that beat guys like Arthur Trout, Josecito Lopez, Shane Mosley, KO Carlos Baldomir. Some very big names on that ledger prior to Mayweather. And on the other side here, he is fighting like a guy who remembers all those big wins.
And underneath the right eye of ALFREDO ANGULO is starting to swell. Canelo also has a little swelling in his eye, nothing too serious. Angulo's able to land a few shots. And Canelo keeping him with distance with that jab. Canelo Alvarez from Guadalajara, Mexico, wearing the yellow trunk. Angulo, all black in Mexicali. Finally able to land a couple, nothing serious.
But with Canelo coming out and jabbing in the beginning of round 5, it made Angulo brave, for whatever that's worth to him. He's coming on stronger, and Canelo has more to shoot at.
Blood coming down from the right eyebrow of ALFREDO ANGULO now. Canelo Alvarez keeping him at ease with that jab. A big hook, and that hook is just from anywhere he wants, Dave.
Yeah, and he was on the outside. He fired a long-range hook. We're seeing the double-up punches here from Alvarez, and we're seeing some good composure and maturity here as he started with the jabs, and now has gotten back to his attack after the jabs emboldened his opponent.
And this is one where Canelo's backing up a little bit, just to get some distance, and Angulo's coming right at him. A little bit different from the first 4 rounds, where they just stood in the middle of the ring.
Angulo wants Canelo to box that way. Canelo's doing it, trying to set a trap. As Angulo did walk into a big right hand.
So every time Canelo goes back a little bit, he answers it with a big shot. 25 seconds to go in the 5th round, scheduled for 12. Between Saul Canelo Alvarez and ALFREDO Perro Angulo. His nickname is the Dog. But it's Canelo who has it all the fight and all the bark. There's jab, Dave.
And both eyes are marked up here. Angulo, they got multiple problems to deal with in the corner for him. A little Pinocchio is important if you're going to be in a corner. Have to lie to your father, your fighter a little bit, and get him to believe you.
He's getting tired from hitting you.
Yes.
Okay, he just didn't finish the sentence. 6th round here at MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Beto Duran along with Dave on tempo, and it's been a shutout for Canelo Alvarez, who's just looking strong. This is the Canelo a lot of fans expected to see against Floyd Mayweather, the one who's coming in and bringing the punches, but he was unable to find Mayweather. He was way too fast. Angulo showing no speed at all, no desire to even move, and sitting there and getting hit. It's target practice for Alvarez.
Well, this was how the fight was designed for him. He's following through on it. You know, styles do make fights. This is one prime example of that. And the Mayweather fight was not going to be a good style for him, but what people got on him for was that he just did not push the envelope against Mayweather. Here, he is pushing the envelope in triplicate.
In between rounds, you heard Virgil Hunter telling this fighter, Angulo, you're only throwing one punch. We haven't even seen Angulo land any punches here this round.
Well, you know, when your opponent overpowers you, and you're feeling those shots, you think twice about opening up, because there's going to be a price. So you look for a more potent punching opportunity, and that narrows your offensive scope.
And you hear Virgil Hunter in his corner yelling, come on, Alfredo. We've heard that from the first round, man.
Yeah, they can't...
you only would the fighter so much.
They can't make Alvarez come down 30 or 40%, which is what they would need.
Well, how about his fighter go up 30%?
Well, I think Alvarez has taken a lot of weight from Angulo. Angulo's given a good, honest effort. But this is just a guy who's facing limitations because of the power of his opponent, who's made him pay for everything.
Is Alvarez that much more of a skill fighter?
Tonight, he is that much more of a skilled fighter. Yeah, he's one of the top fighters in the game before Mayweather. So, the guy who's at an elite level has looked very good in a lot of his wins. And now, he's going back to that form.
Just going back to how explosive Floyd Mayweather really is, elusive, and talented he is.
So, Canelo is back on the other side of Mayweather.
So he's not as bad as he looked against Mayweather.
And the thing with how he looked against Mayweather is that he really didn't try enough. And that's why people, if he pushed the envelope and couldn't get to him, that would have been okay to a lot of people.
He was bigger than Mayweather.
And they just didn't think that he went at it hard enough.
Canelo finishing with a little flurry here at the end of the round. Now, we're sitting next to the ring. We're right in the corner of Alfredo Angulo. We heard Virgil Hunter imploring his fighter, begging his fighter to get going. And right there, as Angulo was getting up off of his stool, Hunter just ripped into him in his ear. Let's go. Twice. See that? Woke him up here.
Now he's trying to transfer some strength and some adrenaline into Angulo, but he really can't fault Angulo. He's coming toward Canelo. That's his style. And he's just getting picked off with hard shots.
Angulo does look slower than he did against Lara.
Well, yeah, first of all, the end of the Lara fight was not good for him, losing that. And then coming with a heavy-handed guy here, who's been perfect in terms of his balance, good power.
He's just on another level tonight.
And what we're seeing a little different course for Canelo. Usually we see him start a little slower and pick it up in the middle rounds and keep the steam going. What he did here was he came out blazing and then settled into some boxing in round 5.
Yeah, Canelo's been the aggressor the entire fight. It started from the opening bell with a strong jab. And there we see Angulo putting together a couple of combinations. And Canelo answers back.
Canelo wanted him to come in and throw so that he could throw. Body shot by Canelo comes up just a little short. It's perfect for him because there is Angulo again.
Right there. And Angulo is just following Canelo around the ring here in the 7th. And Canelo spins away. I'm really impressed with the way Canelo is able to just do what he wants, also with his feet. Gets into the position of where he wants to be to throw a punch.
And we've seen a lot of that starting in round 5 when he incorporated a little bit more of a jabbing style. And gets off first with the jab, and then there's the right hand.
A heavy right hand Canelo had tonight. Haven't seen that power from him in a while.
And he's boxing nicely because we haven't seen as much of the power in the last 3 rounds, and then he's putting rounds in the bank via an alternate route. Jabbing first and just tearing Angulo up.
Good job from Angulo. Less than 10 seconds to go in the round. Angulo, a much better round for him. He finally listened to his trainer, so let's go. But Canelo still looking strong. As we go to the 8th round, Alfredo Angulo is working with an 81-year-old track coach, Remy Corcheni. For the 3rd time in his career, he's working with him. Corcheni, a renowned track coach in the Bay Area, would put him through some crazy workouts. And Angulo said because of his conditioning, no matter what, Remy doesn't care who you are. He's a track coach. He doesn't care if you're a fighter, what kind of athlete you are. I'm going to make you work. He's working, and maybe that stamina that he built up from the track coach is going to help him here and see if he listens to his coach say, let your hands go.
It certainly helps you on the speed angle because they put you through the sprints as well, and you get a sense of just being quicker. But this is a situation in which he's run into a guy who, for the first 4 rounds, recaptured his power assets. I thought it was revealing that in the corner of Angulo, they were telling him to cut off the ring. They were respecting the movement of Canelo, which is something they didn't really expect.
Canelo Alvarez beat Shane Mosley back in 2012 on Cinco de Mayo, and I went in a decision. By that time, Mosley was 40 years old. That was probably his biggest fight after the Cintron. Then he took out Josecito Lopez, who had upset Victor Ortiz. And that was a fight where Josecito Lopez came up in weight, made the payday, but there really wasn't much of a challenge, and he knocked him out in the 5th. Then 2013, Canelo, who put in a flurry on, beat Austin Trout. And that was a decision that was an interesting one in San Antonio.
Yeah, Trout got off to a fast start in that fight, and it seemed like he had the style to beat Canelo, but Canelo rallied in the second half of that one.
And that was a fight back and forth. People were impressed with what Trout did, as Canelo sits there. And then he fought Floyd Mayweather last week. So we haven't seen this kind of a fighter take away the Josecito Lopez fight at all in a long time.
And we saw that primarily 4 rounds, then we're seeing a boxer with Canelo, and the guy who's trying to set traps, and we're seeing Angulo try to make the fight by bringing it to him.
And Canelo Alvarez still picking his spots. Alfredo Angulo saying, come on and bring it. Angulo, this is the kind of fight that Angulo wanted. Where he's in there, letting his hands go. Canelo puts his down, saying, come on and take it. Let's go, give me more. And he puts his hand on, he's talking to him. Love this right now.
Angulo,
again he tells him to bring it. And Canelo answers with his own flurry. Angulo's become turned. Just 2 fighters, 2 Mexican fighters going right at each other. This exchanging, and Canelo picking them apart. Puts his hands down, says, your turn, here you go. 10 seconds to go in an exciting 8th round. Fans on their feet. 2 Mexican warriors going at it, back and forth, trading punches. This is what happens when you're a big-time fighter like Canelo Alvarez.
Recapture in the eyes of the fans that indomitable, offensive-minded juggernaut that he was for everything up until the Mayweather fight. So he's come out here, settling down, and the exceptional fighters always do have a big bounce-back effort right after a disappointment. And he's had that big bounce-back effort. However, that being said, Angulo has taken advantage of Canelo deciding to box in round 5, and he found his confidence. Took him to round 8, but he's got it.
We're in the 9th round, and Angulo now is jumping on his toes. Has that spring. Maybe that 45-second flurry woke him up. Crowd still on his feet, and this has been an action-packed fight from the get-go. Crowd getting their money's worth. Nice left hand from Canelo. Shot. Angulo. Now Canelo goes back to the body.
Shots too.
A 1-2 combo from Canelo. So we asked the question, how much did that 8th round flurry take him out of him? And not much from Canelo.
No, come out and he's had an extraordinary sense of punch sequence in this fight. Not just having the pleasure of a guy in front of him, but one leading to three, and he's been active.
Nice overhand right by back. But an overhand right from Angulo. Finally connects. And Angulo starting to bring a little bit of pressure. And he's cut on his left eyebrow. So Angulo cut on both eyes.
Well, Angulo is willing to pay the price for the Trojan of trying to get inside. He gets it there. He didn't punch, so he ate a big left, took an uppercut. He solved half the battle. He got in front of Canelo, but he didn't do the second half. And because he didn't, he was drilled.
Canelo bobbing and weaving, keeping his hands down. Here's where we saw that flurry in the 8th round. Two fighters still in the middle of the ring. Canelo Alvarez in yellow. Alfredo Angulo in black. Oh, good hook from Alvarez. Another big hook from Alvarez. He's using that left with ease.
Well, he loaded those up. That snap back to head of Angulo. And although he came to Canelo again, it was much slower. And he's rocked right now. There's opportunities for Alvarez. And Angulo's a dangerous hook fighter.
Canelo just keeping his hands down. Doesn't feel like Angulo can do anything to him. Closing seconds of the 9th round. All Canelo Alvarez in this fight. The relationship they two have is not fighter and trainer. Alfredo Angulo's father died at the age of 5. He grew up fatherless. He had a bunch of brothers, but he said this Virgil Hunter is the first time in his life where he feels like he has a father in his life. And he can yell at him, he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't get offended because Virgil Hunter is his pseudo father. And he's looking out for his fighter here in the 10th round. Canelo Alvarez still looking strong, landing the heavy punches. From the opening bell, Canelo Alvarez has been dominating this fight, landing the big shots. Now he's just toying with Angulo, bobbing and weaving, putting his head down, putting the gloves down, daring Angulo to come and try to knock him out.
That's a real big power index, and that's it.
They stopped the fight. Referee Tony Weeks has jumped in and stopped the fight. And Angulo is upset about it. And he's mad at Tony Weeks.
They have to play their respective roles here.
So guys, Canelo got the win with a sharp performance. Power punching, counter punching, slipping, blocking, you know, all the usual stuff that we've come to expect from Mr. Canelo. In regards to Angulo, I have to say, I don't like his style. Takes way too much punishment for a boxer. Don't like his way of boxing at all. I'm sure he's a nice person, but I don't like to see when boxers have next to no reaction, no defensive awareness. He's too slow, is not evasive, and has no defense. I mean, hell, it's like he was blocking the bloody punches with his face. I really don't understand what is going through his head or his coaches when he's in the ring. Now, I get the fact that he's persistent and he likes to wear his opponents down with his pressure, and he goes hard to the body and he can take punishment, but he has absolutely no defense, and it's like he's not even trying to defend himself at certain times in the fight. Now, I know his coach and he's a good coach, but to be honest, if I were his coach, I would have had a serious conversation with him about his career. Ref for me made a good call. I may have actually stopped it earlier. So anyway, back to Mr. Canelo Alvarez. So we know he's going to be facing Jamie Munguia in the ring. Munguia currently has a perfect record of 43 wins and no losses. Now, his resume isn't stacked with champions such as Canelo's, but I do believe he deserves a shot at the title that Canelo holds at 168. Now, there are many undefeated super middleweights that potentially could go up against Canelo or the winner to this fight, such as Pacheco, David Morrell Jr., but I do believe out of all of them, including Munguia, David Benavidez, gives Canelo the biggest fight and the biggest concerns. Anyway guys, that's all for now. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please remember to smash the like button if you have enjoyed watching this particular update. Remember to leave a comment within the comment section if you want to add anything about Saul Canelo Alvarez. So until my next one, peace out.